In Plato's accounts of Atlantis, his two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, where he talks about Atlantis, he dates it as 9,000 years prior to Solon's exile in Egypt, which took place roughly at 500 to 600 BC. This may have the appearance of myth, but it's real. It really happened. He says that, yeah.
Which brings us to a video of the guy who was just on Joe Rogan's podcast who talks about... Jimmy.
Yeah.
He had a conversation with Joe Rogan about the Eye of Africa being the location of Atlantis. Let's watch this quick clip.
When I first saw this, I was like, what the fuck is that? So what you're looking at is approximately 250 miles inland in the total barren desert of Mauritania, Africa. That's what I believe, and that's what makes the most sense to me. Others will disagree, and let me tell you why. It is currently 1,300 feet above sea level. It's 250 miles inland, and so some people say this was never under the ocean, at least not for the last tens of millions of years, is what the scientists claim. I argue that since the salt is still there, and not only that, those areas with the most white blemishes happen to be the areas that are the lowest in elevation, which to me tells me that salt water had settled there. Atlantis was said to be, like we said, multiple rings of, water and land. However, it was said to open to the sea to the south, and it's why they call it the Eye of Africa or the Eye of the Sahara.
We would disagree on this.
Let's go.
Well, and it's good stuff, man. But I have some issues with it, and I get into that, why I believe it's not there. So in other words, when you look at the geography, and there is like the Spartel Bank, there's a sunken island right there at the mouth that would have actually been an island that sailors could have stopped at. And then there's Madeira, possibly even other islands. That's my problem, is that Plato very clearly, to me, puts it in the Atlantic Ocean, and also very clearly describes that it sank within the ocean. So what I have done is shown throughout hours of video that there is solid evidence for post-glacial subsidence of particularly along the mid-Atlantic ridge.